Oh my God. Oh my gosh. FlightChops just blew my mind, and so did Wisk. Hi, welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name is Graham Wilson, and today, I'm going to be talking about the future of air taxis in my basement. So the other day, I saw a video from some of you guys might know that there's a channel out there called FlightChops. A guy named Steve Thorne, and he does a fantastic job of providing really great video and commentary on everything aviation. And the latest video that he did, I follow Steve there, or follow FlightChops, and I check out all the videos all the time and stuff. So it's like I was looking at the last one, and I was like, I was totally blown away. He was talking about this company that's out in Silicon Valley called Wisk, and he got a little sneak preview, and I'll put a link to the video I'm talking about in the description below. But he got to go see a test flight of one of their potential air taxis that they're going to be building there. And I saw that, and I'm like, this is going to work. I can't believe it. Because when it comes to drone technology, I don't know, for about the last 10 years or so, it's been pretty affordable to you get yourself a little drone with the 4 little propellers on it, and you can that's my impression of what a drone is, that's affordable and workable, is the 4-bladed one. And usually what happens is someone blows a bunch of money on it. Or at the time when I first saw one of these, one of my students brought one to the airport. It couldn't fly because it was actually at the airport. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I don't know. We spent like $300 or something on it. And so what happens is it goes, and then it gets hung up in a wire or a tree, and then you throw it in the landfill. So that's, in my mind, okay, that's drones, right? And then I knew another guy. He spent a whole lot of money on a 6-bladed drone a few years later, and he was doing surveying work with it. He would go out and fly in a grid pattern and take pictures, and then he'd run it through some software, and then he could figure out the low spots on farmers' fields. And then it was cheaper for the farmer to pay him to fly his drone over with this expensive software than it was to get a surveying crew in there so he could level out the farms for better drainage. So, okay, I kind of saw the drone technology taken off, so to speak, and then I saw Steve's video about this Wisk aircraft, and really going into it, and he did a fantastic job of explaining, or asking the people that work at Wisk how to explain, how does this thing work, or what can you tell me about this? And I'm sold. Because just looking at the technology that they have, they're using existing technology from those little 4-bladed drones, and but they're not going to be smashing into anything. So I guess it's really come a long way since I first kind of saw these drone things. And what another thing that I was always skeptical about, there was you see these ones, where was it? I saw the police in Dubai or somewhere. They like, oh, I got this 4-bladed like motorcycle drone type thing that looks like you'd see in a comic book. And then I'm just thinking, if one of those blades cracks, or one of the engines fails, you only got 3 and you're falling off, right? But so I never saw, and then I saw if you got 6 of them, okay, 6, if one of those little engines fail, the other ones can kind of pick up the slack. So that, I could kind of see that. But they're so noisy and everything too. And it's like, the forward speed couldn't be that much. But I'll show you on my whiteboard. There we go. Whiteboard. Oh, wait, no. No sponsors here. Okay, and what do we got here? Oh, there's my address on there. Oh, I'm gonna have to wipe that one out. I get to work on my blurring in my YouTube settings. Okay, no whiteboard today. Just got the cardboard. So I'm gonna kind of show you my thinking on why I think the future of air taxis is looking pretty good. So the thing, it kind of looks like like your regular airplane. Okay, what do we got here? This is fantastic. Look at that airplane. It's pretty sweet, eh? So your passengers sit up here in the front. Okay, this is not to scale. And so it's got all these. So if you're thinking about this as a drone, you would have maybe. So there you go. There's your drone. So you got your 4 propellers here. Okay, if one of those guys fails, then it's all unstable. It won't work. But the good smart people at Wisk, they got some more little blades here, little bladed fan blades, helicopter looking blades kind of thing. There we go. We got that. So if you had say this guy here hit a bird and it's not working anymore, well, the other 3 here could pick up the slack. And they went even further. Like that. So they got they got 12 rotors there, 12 fans or 12 propellers, whatever you want to call it. And on their experimental plane that Mr. FlightChops showed, it also had a propeller at the back. Something like that. Okay, so there we go. That's so these guys would make it take off like your regular Joe Blow cheap little drone. And the thing is that the technology to keep it stable, that's been around forever. And I bet you there's even open source versions of it you could download or something. Like I'm really thinking that this is just turning into all the systems involved here. It's just a matter of software and programming and stuff like that. So this will it'll have you, and this is all run on batteries too, just like your little 4-bladed drone that gets hung up on the trees. But this won't get hung up on the trees because they were talking about it that they were going to have just like the more expensive drones have collision avoidance built into them. Same here. I mean, like they're using all this all this off the shelf basically. Ideas and software and sensors and gimbals and doodads and whatever you want to call it to keep it all stable. And so they take off vertically like that. And then when you want to move forward, this little electric motor starts up and starts pushing you forward. These guys shut off, and now you're flying on the wings like an airplane. And I thought that's the groundbreaking part right there that I've never seen before. Now, I guess this stuff's been out for, maybe I'm out of the loop a little bit, but it's been around for a little while that they've been experimenting on it. But I can tell you, it's just that Wisk thing blew my mind. And then they are going to eventually get rid of this, and they're going to have these front guys here, just kind of they'll kind of rotate. So your propeller will be spinning this way to get up, and then it'll eventually go this way to push it forward. So. And I could see why in their experiment that they didn't start off with that right away, and they put this little guy back here because you could probably monitor one engine better if you're transitioning from vertical flight to horizontal flight. So you could probably monitor that better and get your data. And then when you get your rotating ones on the front, or the angling ones in the front, it's just a matter of programming in the thrust vector that you want. And it's like, wow, that's good use of resources, I think. It makes sense. They got some smart people working there. And yeah, I'm blown away by this, man. That is the future. And I think that's gonna work. And then after that got me thinking. I thought I'd do, as usual for this channel, I do a little bit of research. Then I find out there's all these other people working on these air taxis and stuff too. So it looks like the race is on. And who's going to be the winner? I don't know. I think it'll probably be just kind of like, do you like Cessna or do you like Piper? Or do you like Chevy or do you like Ford? You like Dodge? What do you like? You like Wisk? You like this other one? I think that's the way it'll probably be. And also when it comes to these, and I didn't even mention like there's no pilot there. I forgot the most important part. You just got the people sitting up there and there's no pilot. But check out FlightChops' video. You'll see he'll explain it better than me or the pros at Wisk will. But it's yeah. Oh, hey, Wrench. Oh, Wrench is not a believer. He doesn't think that vertical takeoff and landing will ever happen. Well, just from what I've seen, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of a believer here. And what else can I say there? Oh, yeah. So it'll be autonomous. You know, and the way that they were explaining in the video that Steve did was that they were going to be basically they're going to have to set up a whole new rule system, or like laws and rules of the air for autonomous aircraft. And so it's in a way that's already been happening, because when these drones first came out, there was problems of with Joey over there right by the airport going zzz, and a Dash 8 reports that they see a drone on final or something. Oh, this is cool. Take a picture of the plane. And then they got that's a little too close for comfort for the airliners and stuff. So then the manufacturers of these little drones, they won't even allow the things to spool up within a certain radius of the airport, depending on where you are. And so that kind of keeps you away. And then I know whenever I've been flying around and there's been drone activity, they always say there'll be notice to airmen, or NOTAM, where it'll be drone activity below 300 feet above ground, something like that. But usually when you're flying over a built up area, you're going to be 1,000 feet above ground anyways. So I think it's just really a matter of, and I don't know if you're a non-pilot, maybe you didn't know, but there's actually little highways up in the sky there that you can't see. It's they're defined by various navigational aids, GPS, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's why you'll see, the chemtrail people. They'll always see, look at this. Everybody's going. They're doing this crisscross pattern over here, and it's like, yeah, that's a GPS waypoint. That okay, you go to this waypoint, and then you go off to Russia, or you go to this waypoint, and then you head off to New York. So everyone's going to that waypoint in the sky. It's not they're not chemtrailing you, but or they might be. But no, so there's like there actually are airways, as they call them, up there for all your airliners and that. And then at lower altitudes, there's designated air routes for other smaller airplanes, like the ones I used to fly, and or still do fly a little bit here and there. And yeah, so it's just really a matter of putting a few new rules onto a map or load it into your GPS, and it's like, okay, we're going to have autonomous altitudes, probably. I mean, they always do separation of aircraft based on altitude is the favorite one of the air traffic controllers. It's usually 500 feet vertically from anything, anywhere, and then you're pretty safe with wake turbulence and all that other stuff. So what do we got here? Oh, we got Wrench here, and oh, Harold, how you doing? Okay, Wrench says, I think each compass heading should be at a specific altitude. Then you circle up and everything is going in the same direction. Yeah, no, that's one way of thinking of it. Yeah. And the thing is, another thing that I have like a lot of faith in that this is going to work is because whenever you get pilots around, they're the I don't know, I wouldn't say stubborn, but there's always this like, for example, whenever I tried to make a rule around the flight school that I used to have or used to run, I was like, okay, I got all the angles covered here. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that happens? Let's make the rule. And then someone says, yeah, but in my case, I just got this certification. So does that mean I can't do that? And I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. And then there's another one where, well, what if somebody comes in from another airport, but it's our airplane and you can, I didn't think about that. So like, if there's anybody that can think of like the what if scenarios, it's pilots. Because well, I guess part of it too is everyone's kind of unique that way too, and then it's hard to have blanket rules. So what's going to happen is that they're going to come out with all these rules, and they think we're engineers, we got this all covered. The manufacturers, insurance companies, we got this all covered. And then someone will say, that's not good. They're flying next to this building all the time. And they're like, oh, okay, we got to make a rule. So there's all these little things that are going to come into play. But the thing is about the airspace systems anywhere within aviation is that they're always constantly improving. So like we're starting off, like in my mind, I'm looking at like an air taxi, and that started off with the this one guy that showed up to the flight school with this little crappy drone that he hung up in a tree and threw it in the garbage. To I'm going to hop in this thing, and then at the airport, and that'll take me to the subway station here, and then that'll take me to downtown, and it'll cost me whatever $30, or and that's another thing too that I like a little bit more about this. Even though there's no pilot there, like when it comes to helicopters are extremely expensive to operate and maintain. But electric motors are, there's, if you're burning electricity, that doesn't cost that much. And if you're burning Jet A or 100 low lead, that costs a lot more. And there's a lot more parts to mess up on a helicopter. And once that rotor breaks, you got no backup. So, so it's like, I kind of like having 12 little rotors instead of just one. And that puts my mind at ease. And so I think so it's looking pretty good for this drone technology. And then I was also thinking there too, it's like this would be amazing for medevacs, where there's a big say you're in Los Angeles or something like that, and the traffic's terrible, and there's a big pileup. And if you can get one of these guys to come in here and take off and then buzz over to the local hospital, use their helipad there, and then it's like, oh well, they're all full there. Well, we'll get 3 of these guys come in here and take the EMTs and throw them on board, and they all go to different hospitals and stuff. Like it could be pretty cool. It's and then what else we got here? Okay, and then the other thing there too that I was thinking that it would be at you'd be probably flying into airports too. And I know for anyone that works in air traffic control or anyone at the airport for landing fees, or everyone likes lots of movement at an airport, except for the neighbors maybe. But it's that's what having those extra movements that would actually help out maintaining the services for the other general aviation pilots and airlines and stuff like that. Keep air traffic control around. So, all right. And Wrench thinks that they're just helicopters, but less efficient. I don't know, Wrench. I might have to beg to differ on that one. I'd have to look at I don't know. I'd have to look at the, you got to look at the energy to weight ratio to aerodynamic thrust drag. It's all one great big, it's a big calculation there. And I really think there's certain things that these types of drones will never be able to do. The range is extremely limited. And so you're not going to be, hanging a saw off it and trimming trees up on the way to Alaska to get them off the highway or whatever. You're not going to be flying into remote areas when it's minus 30 out, so I think it's just, it's another kind of the right tool for the job. And so this it'll probably fill this little niche that maybe it's not quite efficient or cost effective for an airplane, not quite cost effective for a helicopter, but this thing in the middle for this much money could work. And the way that everyone's investing in it and the race is on, I think it will. So I just figured I'd make a little video here today to talk about that, and I'll put some links to what I'm talking about. The Wisk company, FlightChops. Subscribe to him. He's pretty cool, and I've talked to Steve a few times in actual real life because he flies down in Windsor here too, and nice guy, and works a lot. Ooh. I don't think I want to do that. I just hang out in my basement and talk. He actually does like good cinematography and stuff. And so that's about it for today. And don't have any questions. Today is Friday. The old semi-retired brain's got to think here. Oh, Jordan, yeah, talking about the pancakes. Okay, yesterday I was in this certain live chat that I kind of hang out in. And I had to run away really quick. So this is kind of just an addendum. So yeah, Jordan's kids were making him pancakes the other day. I just kind of found out, right? And I had pancakes on the brain so much. And it just so happened that yesterday about, I don't know, I was kind of in the middle of being, I don't know, wasting time on the computer like I usually do. And I got a call like, hey, want to go for breakfast? And I'm like, well, I just ate like a little sandwich, but like, oh yeah, I could go get some pancakes. so Jordan put the pancakes in my brain there. I had to go get pancakes yesterday, so that was good. I only got like the half order because man, they just give you so much food these days. Got to watch the old weight and balance there, you know. Okay, and what am I doing the rest of the day? Well, Harold, what am I going to do? I got to do, usually what I do after I finish one of these things is I go and I do a little post-production. So I'll add little comments, put tags in there and stuff like that. And I'm also going to work on, I'm going to see if I can do another voiceover. I got my mic here, my computer set up. I'm going to leave it there. And so I went for a little motorcycle ride the other day, and I got a GoPro and just kind of stuck it in my pocket on my jacket and kind of had it sticking out. It wasn't too bad. So I'm going to do a little, I don't know, here's me riding down by the river in Windsor, Ontario, voiceover thing. I don't know. Then I'm messing around with my kind of audio and video. There's a lot of wind noise on it, but if you're curious, Harold, that's what I'm doing there. And then what else am I going to do? I don't know, putz around in the backyard like I usually do. Maybe do some digging, pulls. It's the end of the growing season. Might pull some stuff out of the garden. So here we go. Well, so yeah, thanks Jordan for inviting me over for pancakes, but I don't think I'm going to be going to Saskatchewan anytime too soon. But anyways, that's about it. Everyone have a great weekend. Today's Friday, so I will be back on Monday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we're going to shut her down. So thank you for watching. Bye.